This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. I'm joined over Zoom, all the way from America, by Nico Ali Walsh. It's good to see you, mate. How are you?
It's great to see you. I've been doing great. How about you?
Busy, keeping on with it, staying on top of things, only just. But where are you joining me from right now? In Vegas.
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm in training camp right now. We got about 3.5 weeks left tomorrow. And yeah, we're just finishing up camp.
I've always kind of baffled me how fighters can have training camps in Vegas because I was in Vegas in January, and it's so many different distractions. I got the casinos, you got I guess the boxing gyms, got the entertainment. How do you yourself kind of dead on straight and not getting distracted in such a crazy place like Vegas?
It's it's tough for most people. For me personally, I've never been much of a party guy myself. So it's not distracting at all for me. I don't go out much as it is. So with boxing, it's easy to stay focused, but it's the training that sucks.
Do you used to go out at all when you're younger, or you always just been like that?
No, I used to go out. I had fun in high school. We would go. The high school I went to was a lot of fun. There was like parties every weekend. I'm burnt out. Like I'm done partying and I'm done going out. I had my fun in high school, and throughout college I stopped going, and now I'm definitely not going.
That's fair enough then. At least you got it all out your system back then. Whereas lots of
Right.
adults are still kind of tempted. Oh, I kind of want to go. I kind of want to go. But now at least you all put it to one side. Um, but training camps, I guess, is kind of it's not as new for yourself as it was once was. How have you managed to
Um,
adjust and become more used to it? Training camps.
it's so hard to get used to these camps because it's like every camp with the team that I'm with is different. Every camp is harder. So like this particular camp, I'm training with a guy who's fighting for a title eliminator. He's fighting a 12 round fight. So I'm training the same thing. I'm doing the same things that he's doing. So it's like I'm prepared now for a title eliminator fight. So it's tough. That's not where I'm at. In this coming up will be my ninth fight. I shouldn't be training like that, but I'm glad that I am because it's just tough. It's really hard.
Do you get used to it, or is it always as hard as the last time?
No, it's harder. It's always harder than the time before. So last time I got used to it, like the last two training camps, there was like 4 a.m. wake up calls to run. Then it would be like 2 p.m. boxing and then 8 p.m. sparring or something like that. 3 day workouts. Uh, and then I got used to that. I got used to waking up at 4 in the morning, and then that got easy to me. But now this camp, he shut that off, and it's heavier workouts, just different times. It's really hard. You can't like guess what we're gonna do next. That's the tough part.
You get used to waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That should be illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to say that.
No, I did. Believe it or not, I did because we did two camps where we were waking up at 4, and I got used to it because it's like you wake up at 4 in the morning. You're not waking up at 4. You're waking up at 3:30, 3:40, and then you would just wake up, run, and then go back to sleep. It would be like it never happened. Your mind is so tired. It would be like you just run, get it over with, and then you go back to sleep. And then when you wake up at 9 in the morning, it's like you never ran that day.
Well, what's the coach's reasoning about getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning? I guess some boxers think, oh, I like to train when my opponent's sleeping. Then that would
Yeah.
confuse me because then you're going to sleep and your opponent will still be training. But so how does it,
Right, right,
why
right.
do you wake up so early?
No, it's a couple things. It's definitely one is it's hard waking up at 4 in the morning. No one wants to do it. So we did it because it's something that we didn't want to do. So that was one reason. And then another reason was after 4, we would finish up at 6, and then we would have from 6 to 2 to rest, which is a lot of hours of rest. And those were the main two reasons. But I think the biggest thing is that you got to do things that you don't want to do. Nobody wants to wake up at 4. Nobody does. So the people that do, I respect them.
The only times I ever wake up at 4 is if I've got to go on a plane, catch a flight. That's the only
See,
time. Or sometimes I might just stay up. Or actually, no, for to watch a boxing as well. Two things: to watch the fights or the UFC, and then to catch a flight. So I guess that's my excuse. Where Yours is going to the boxing.
I mean, that's tougher than I feel like what I'm doing because I'm waking up and I'm running. I run so much, I train so much that when I'm running, my brain shuts off. I'm doing it almost on autopilot. When you have to get up and watch a fight or get up and go somewhere and talk to people, that's a lot harder than I think training at 4 in the morning.
Well, the Tank Davis fight, because I did a boxing show, the Kingpin show. It's like one of these kind of YouTuber shows the other night, and I was up quite late uploading all the videos. It was fight night, you see, and then the Tank Davis fight was on with Ryan Garcia, and I watched the
Yeah.
first round, and it's one of the, I've been looking forward to this fight for like years and years, and I just fell asleep. I put it on pause and switched off, so I just watched it in the morning. So it is difficult staying up, but I can see you got your tattoos there. How
Yes.
how often do you only get them? Do you have any new ones coming up?
I have no idea. Honestly, it's just like I feel like nowadays in I get a lot of hate for my tattoos actually. And but we're in a different world where like times are changing. People tattoos is just a thing now. I think in like 40 years everyone's going to have some sort of ink. It's like I guess I see it as like just you're using parts of your body as like memorials. You're remembering things. You want to remember certain memories. So I love my tattoos.
I've always been. I don't think I ever get tattoos just because it hurts, and I'm always worried that I might like not like it in like 2 years' time or a year's time. So how do you make sure that you're gonna like it in 10 years' time? How do you know?
Well, these boxing gloves, I'm actually getting removed. So that was my first tattoo. Yeah, that was my first tattoo. So I'm getting that removed. I don't know. It's an experience. Things happen. Like I've got a scar on my face right here. I wish that didn't happen, but it did. It's like stuff happens. Your body is not going to look the same in 30 years as it does right now, and you'll have scars and marks on your body that will show like memories of what you've been through. That's how I kind of look at tattoos. So you'll have some that you regret. I'm assuming
Maybe if I ever get one. I haven't got. I'm 18.
if
So
you ever get one. Yes.
if I ever get one. But why are you shaving that? What? Not shaving. Why are you lasering that one off on your arm? The gloves.
It was my first tattoo. I mean I love boxing. I love boxing gloves, but the design exactly was haphazardly picked. I was never going to get tattoos, but when my grandfather passed away, I got a design of boxing gloves with a butterfly and a bee, and I got that immediately just because I was grieving and everything. But years after, I got a photo of my grandfather, which means more than to me than a boxing glove with a butterfly and bee. That means nothing to me. I'd rather just see my grandfather. So I don't know.
Mhm. That's fair enough. How old were you when you got your first one?
16.
Oh wow, so really young.
Oh yeah, no, I was 16 years old. It was right when he passed, and you needed your parents' permission to get the tattoos, but they were obviously down for it, and yeah, it's a memory now. Even if I had to go back in time and redo it, I'd still do it again.
Yeah, that's true. That's it's kind of I guess it's fate almost. It's part of the past. Just
Yeah.
touching on your grandfather. I know you probably get asked about him all the time, so that's a good question actually. Does it ever frustrate you that everyone asks you about your grandfather, Muhammad Ali?
No, I'm not one of those guys that gets. I think it'd be weird if I get frustrated by that. It's no, I'm not. No, it's like if someone gets frustrated about I'm a boxer and you're asking me about boxing. If I get frustrated from you asking me about boxing, it's like no, it comes with the territory. It's something that people want to know about, and it's not something bad. If my grandfather was a bad person and I had to constantly talk about how bad of a person he was, then it would get a little bit redundant.
Yeah.
But everyone's talking about him in a positive way, so it's not bad.
That's true. You couldn't really pick a better person. That's actually a really good point you made there. You couldn't really pick a better person to talk about. So I guess that's quite good in that aspect. What
Right.
favorite memory of your grandpa then? I think we'll start there, Muhammad Ali. Your favorite memory. You've probably got a few, but it's hard to pick
Yeah,
one.
no, we've got a lot. I think the best things is that my family loves movies. We love horror movies. We just love like being scared. And back in the day, I don't know if this was like 2008 or something. The King Kong movie came out. It was like Peter Jackson's King Kong,
Mhm.
and it was super cool at the time. Everyone was talking about it, so I decided we were going up to Arizona to see him, and we all went down to the movie theater together. And then when people started noticing him in the theater, they were like shocked and they didn't even want to watch the movie. But we sat there and watched the whole King Kong movie, and yeah, that was a fun time, crazy time.
King Kong. That film was really, I guess it's beyond its time almost. Now it seems like
Yeah,
an everyday film, but back in 2008, when you got those graphics and you
I
got
know, and it
you
was
see how it
loud,
was.
and like you're seeing this huge beast on screen. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
And when you told him you want to be a boxer, what was his words? What did he say?
He will no, I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him I wanted to be a boxer. At the point when I would go to him and I would always show him sparring videos and whatnot. I didn't tell him straight up, hey, I want to be a boxer. I just did it. I went to him for advice when I didn't want to be a boxer. So I went to him and was like, hey, this is tough. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. I know the road ahead is long. And I was trying to get him to tell me to quit so that like if I was able to quit, if I was able to leave boxing, I would need his blessing, and he's the only person who could give it to me. So I was trying to get him to let me quit, and he just told me to keep going, and I was like, damn. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just stick it through, and I did, and I'm glad I did because here I am now.
If he had said, give it a rest, quit, but like just stop doing it, where do you think it would be right now? What do you think you'd be doing?
If legitimately, if he told me to stop boxing, um, I don't know. I believe in destiny. I feel like I was born to do what I'm doing right now. But in another world, if I just didn't box at all and I took his word for it, I would be doing something film related right now. Because I graduated with a degree in business and film, and I love movies. I've written a couple screenplays. Like I've got other things that I love outside of boxing. Boxing just takes the cake and everything right now.
Yeah, and it always will until the very end. So I guess that's something you'd
That's
look
right.
into after you finished your boxing career.
Yeah. But and the most important thing about boxing is that I need to know when the end is there, because most boxers, including my grandfather, didn't know when to say I'm done. And some boxers like Andre Ward, he left at the perfect time. He retired undefeated. He retired with his faculties and his brain. He's smart. He's a commentator now. I want to be like that. I want to know when it's time to stop, because most boxers keep going, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting, and it's not healthy.
That's a really good point you made there. You want to retire from boxing and not let boxing retire you. I guess
That's
that's a
right.
good way to think about it. What are your favorite films? What type of films do you like to watch then? That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Oh no, man. I am a film connoisseur. I love movies. Quentin Tarantino is my favorite director. He makes a ton of fun movies. Django Unchained. Me and my family love that movie. Um, the Joker movie by Todd Phillips. We love that movie. We love Joaquin Phoenix. There are so many great movies. If you're looking for like inspirational movies, you got like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You got Dead Poet Society. Um, Shawshank Redemption. There's a ton of movies out there.
What
I
did you
love I love a good movie. I'm not really a comedy movie kind of guy. I like dramas and that kind
mm,
of stuff.
What did you think of Creed 3?
I thought it was fun. I will always support Michael B. Jordan. I will always support him. I love what he does. It was a very fun movie to watch because everyone in the movie I recognized, whether it was Benavidez or Stitch or some of the ring girls. Like I knew people. They used real boxing people in the movie, and yeah, I mean they did their homework. It was his directorial debut, if I'm not mistaken, Michael B. Jordan. So yeah, no, it was a fun movie to watch, and it's tough with boxing movies because boxing movies are really really tough to like actually.
Mm. I really liked it. I liked how they used lots of different people, but I just didn't like
Yeah.
how kind of unrealistic it was. How someone can be away from that long from boxing and then come back and be heavyweight champ. It
Yeah,
like
no, that's what everyone said. It's tough because there's never going to be a perfect boxing movie unless it's taken from footage of actual fights. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, I don't know, it's really tough. But anything's possible. If you look at Mike Tyson's story, or like my grandfather's story, or like Vinny Pazienza's story, where
Hmm.
he got in a car accident and he was about to be paralyzed, and then he got back into boxing and won a world title.
Miles Teller played him. What's the name of the film again? I forgot. Miles Teller played him though.
Bleed for this. Bleed for
Yes, yes,
this.
I remember. Yeah.
That's a movie that if you didn't know about boxing, you'd be like, there is no way that's happening. But stuff like that happens. So it's tough. The big thing with boxing movies is that when they're making the scenes, it's hard for like it to look real. It's hard for it to look believable. But Michael B. Jordan did a great job. I mean, he really got in shape for the fight. I saw him sparring a little bit with some real fighters.
Yeah, the countless pros. Normally for a boxing film, they've like one or two pros. This one, you can at least count 10, 15 people you can recognize. Oh, I know that
Oh
person.
yeah.
I know
No,
him. I
they
know
really
that.
did their homework for that film. They
Yeah.
really did their homework.
Also,
Yeah.
having like brands like Box Raw or like DAZN in it can help it give it a big boost.
Yeah, it was wait. They didn't show any of those in the movie, did they?
No, because like, when he was wearing the Box Raw tracksuit or the broadcaster DAZN or the
Yeah.
WC titles, I love how they incorporate that sort of thing as well.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about the ring if they had like DAZN or anything in the ring. No, they didn't have that, but they had the real people, which is great. And then he had the Box Raw. I believe he had a ton of Everlast gear, which is I'm sponsored by them. So I was like, hey, that's Everlast. It's awesome. They
Mm,
they kept it real. They kept it real when it came to the quality of the film.
certainly. That's why it's so good. But I do appreciate you coming on today. It's definitely always been like a goal of mine to get you on. So I do appreciate you coming on. Hopefully
Of
we'll catch
course.
up in a few months. But apart from films and boxing, anything else coming up for yourself in the next few months? What's on the radar for yourself?
My mind is dead set on May 20th. I'm just looking forward to it. It's only my second time fighting in Vegas, which is basically my hometown. So I'm looking to put on a show, and it's just like the pain of the camp is just making me ready to take it out on somebody. So I'm looking forward to May.
Awesome. For your fight, I'll wake up earlier to watch it. I'll get up another.
Wait, you gotta wake up early. You gotta wake up early to watch my fight. When you're watching my fights, it doesn't require a lot of thought. Okay, because I try to keep it fun. I try to keep it energetic and exciting. So it won't be a snooze fest. You will not be put back to sleep from watching my fight.
Good. I like to hear it. That's awesome. That's a good way to end it. Nico, thank you so much for your time. It means a lot.
Of course, of course. Thank you for having me.